the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Sacramento, where the Kings will be going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans is one of the teams right now playing very consistent. Win this game, and they leave with the 7th best record in the NBA. A little added motivation for them, if they need it. And here we are late in the season. Shaq, for the teams at the very bottom of the standings, there can be a tendency to give up on yourself and a desire to dial things back, I guess. Pack it in. This happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happens, but no great coach would stand for that. Nor with great players. You just gotta, dig yourself out the hole, Ernie. You gotta keep fighting. You know what they should do?
What's that?
Go watch Hoosiers. Ooh. The Gene Hackman speech should get them going.
Okay, you think that would work on an NBA player?
I think it would. Picket fence, baby, picket fence.
Sometimes you just can't give that all-out intensity because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can only see the light right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And, you got to give those bench guys some more minutes at this time.
Let's send it down to Kevin Harlan.
Let's meet your Sacramento Kings. Starting shooting guard, standing 6'8", number 25, Justin Jackson. Starting in the other guard, at 6'3", number 5, De'Aaron Fox. Starting at small forward, at 6'6", number 8, and in the middle, at 7'0", number 12, starting at the other forward position, standing 6'8", number 50, Zach Randolph. Your head coach is David Yeager. Once again, your Sacramento Kings.
Pelicans come into a Western Conference contest in this game. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Earlier in the season, the New Orleans Pelicans ended up losing their last game in this matchup against Sacramento. And now they'll try to tie up the season series at 2 wins apiece. They've taken 1 game out of 3 so far.
Yeah, and looking back at their last game against this club, they were badly out-rebounded.
So Sacramento will get the first possession. And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, we've got Davis. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Etuan Moore. And it's Okafor in at the 5 spot. Here's New Orleans. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
Playing on the road, always a challenge, but it becomes a heck of a lot easier when you can shoot the 3 ball the way they did.
I just like their confidence. Even when they did miss, it felt like that's the shot they were designing to get, so it never seemed to faze them.
And so the New Orleans Pelicans get the first points of the ballgame. The feed to Fox. Rondo on the double team. Bogdanovich wide open. No good from outside. For New Orleans, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Got that bucket in no time at all. Battle of upstarts tonight. Both teams want to win, but also want to develop young talent. Brent, at this stage, is one goal more important than the other?
Yeah, I think development is first and foremost for each of these teams, Kevin. And sometimes you can learn more from losing than you can from winning. I was always told as a player growing up, when you lose, don't lose the lesson. The team right here with developing young talent needs to make sure that they adhere to that.
He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
And it's Sacramento's ball. 6-point game. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And you know, when everyone's working together, taking care of their roles, it just makes the game easier.
Well, they not only had the right strategy, but they were very exact in their execution. And when the coach is calling the right plays, everything just looks seamless.
Here's Davis. After the basket by Willie Cauley-Stein. Over Randolph, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. It's going to go on De'Aaron Fox. Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
And the second free throw, good.
Alvin Gentry has to be proud that the responsibilities of playing defense for their squad last year was something that they accepted. They went from a bottom 3 team to a top 10 team defensively just last season.
And Davis throws it down hard.
What a throw down by AD. He really rocks the rim with that one.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Pass to Randolph. Over Okafor. And he overshot that one, missing. And with more talent, you think the Pelicans have a chance, Brent, to step their offense up this season?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think the amazing part about last year is that the Pelicans ended up sliding their way up into the top 10 defensively. That's an area where the likes of a team like the Denver Nuggets needs to make their improvement. Maybe between those two teams, they're battling to find their way into the postseason.
It's stolen by Davis. And here we go with Davis heading to the hoop. Okafor gets the bucket.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Here's Jackson. He picked up 12 points in their last win against New York.
A lot of those plays came off tremendous hustle. He was committed to ripping down as many rebounds as he possibly could in this one.
So the Kings called timeout. They're first.
Well, last season for the Kings, they were in the hunt for a good stretch there early on, but kind of fell out of playoff contention and finally decided to pull the trigger and trade DeMarcus Cousins. It marked a major direction change that this team, I think, wanted to make.
And the Cousins deal, Greg, has really been examined, but what is clear is that the Kings wanted to get younger and start rebuilding.
And you can argue if the trade was the right move or not, but management felt it was. The team's thinking was they wanted to change the atmosphere of the locker room, fully committed to bringing in youth and doing things from the ground up.
Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for him.
It's been surprising to me to see him take a little bit of a tumble lately in terms of what he's doing for them offensively. The points just haven't been there for him like they were a few months back. The defenses he's facing have adjusted to him, and he hasn't been able to make his own adjustments.
On defense, New Orleans. And they double up Jackson. Okafor with the steal. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Holiday is running. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul that goes against Sacramento.
Great body control from Holiday. Gets the shot off while getting hit in the process.
And Drew Holiday is 6'4", maybe Brent closer to 6'5" in shoes. Huge for the point guard position.
Well, that size helps him out a lot defensively, especially when he uses his hands as well as he does. You know, most of the point guards in the league, Kevin, are good defensively at tipping passes and predicting plays. Drew Holiday has all of the physical sets to be a more dominant defender at that position.
That free throw good from Holiday.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
Good on both.
And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. He's coming off a 22-point game against New York.
And made a big mark at the free throw line as well. He got himself to the strike a lot and cashed in when he had his chances. Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
Jackson misses. New Orleans leading by 13. Here's Okafor, and he drops it in from the low post. Okafor's got 8 points.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
And the 3 ball is good. Bogdanovich has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land. Goes up the baseline, and Davis can't get it to go.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Well, next time he should do a better job, I think, of getting balanced and set up his feet. That just throws your body way out of whack and hurts your percentages.
The Kings trail by 12. And Fox has it in the corner. Misses the 3.
AD already in his young career averaging over 22 points a game, and he can score in isolation. But where he's very elite is finishing off the assist, and also as a guy who runs the floor at his size extremely well.
Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Drew Holiday. Both free throws good from Holiday.
Man, they are just living at the line.
The Kings trail by 14. Jackson passes to Fox. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. And with Davis's length, awfully tough, Brent, to block his shot around the basket.
I think that gives him confidence that he can get around any defender. And Kevin, I would tell you, if Anthony Davis is a good defender himself, he can pick up some of the visual clues against the guys who are trying to defend him, where he can become a more offensive player.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Sacramento shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
Shooting just 1.
One shot, find the lanes.
And that one falls for Cauley Stein.
And the Kings, for so long, had not been active in free agency. You have to like the moves this organization has made to bring in some vets in the offseason. Randolph and Hill bring a lot of experience and leadership to the locker room.
Let's send it out to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Dave Yeager. David?
Well, Kevin, he talked about the great respect he has for the guys they're playing against tonight. He said, we're talking about one of the best offensive teams in the league, so we have to be at our best defensively. Talking, hustling, putting out the extra effort necessary to get stops. Despite that winning record in this season series, they are taking nothing for granted tonight. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. So knowing the kind of offensive team they're up against, they're coming in with the attitude they cannot let them get comfortable early.
Yeah, that's right. On D, they've got to come out with full intensity. Start slow, and they might find themselves with a big hole to dig out of.
Seems like Coach has made that crystal clear for them tonight. He's got them ready to play some very aggressive defense in this one.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. And Greg, the Kings wanted to have veteran leaders, and that's what they've got right now.
And the Kings are in a rebuild mode, and you need vets to lead that process. Show the youngsters the right way to do things, and I think the Kings have started to make some very savvy moves here as they begin this rebuild.
The Pelicans making a change here. Mirotic has checked in. And let's look now at the group of young players that have been locked in from the charity stripe. Your leading rookie free throw shooters of the past month. You look at Bogdanovich, the best in the NBA. You put him on the line and it's nearly automatic.
He has been locked in at the line, taking complete advantage whenever he's got an opportunity to put points on the board. Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing, the passion that they're playing with up and down the floor.
Now, here's Fox. He's coming off a 10-point game against New York. Cauley Stein off with the layup. Pelicans leading by 15. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Even though Davis gets bodied just a little bit, he still knocks down the shot right in the defense's face.
Now Fox. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Knocked loose. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. A slam dunk by Rondo.
As soon as AD poked that ball away, the team gets out on the break. He's so good at turning defense into offense.
For Sacramento, they've gotten 7 of their first 16 field goal attempts to go down here in the first. Cauley Stein at the elbow. Davis with the double team. Randolph kicks to Fox. Picked by Randolph. Off the screen. And it's off the back rim. No good. Here's Holiday. That's in there. Davis with the assist. 8 points for Drew Holiday.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
Now here's Randolph. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average.
I give some credit to the screen out there. That totally freed up the shooter to take advantage of that look.
Yep, that one goes.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Davis with the double team. Fox dishes to Randolph. Cauley Stein a screen. Bogdanovich passes to Cauley Stein. Clock at 6. Randolph kicks to Cauley Stein. It's in. That's his third field goal of the game. He's 3 for 5.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first.
No, that just happened. Are there any questions as to why this guy is an all-star? His ability to fight through contact and hit the shot is world-class.
Now here's Jackson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Here's Randolph, and the rebound goes to Rajon Rondo.
This just doesn't seem to be his night, or his team's for that matter either. And they got to pull it together here quick, or it's going to be lights out.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
Well, there's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose, and I love the energy on this play. You can't be frustrated at him tonight. He's doing his job. I'd like to see his guys step up a little more.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Sacramento's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Fox kicks to Randolph. Feeds it to Bogdanovich. Back to Randolph. Lots of room. That doesn't go either for Randolph.
Right now he's just out of sync. A lot of shots rimming out, and he's got to try to find something different.
The shot by Holiday, no good. And for Sacramento, they're shooting 45% from the field early. Randolph kicks to Cauley-Stein. Pelicans pull it in. On the wing, Davis. Cauley-Stein defending, and it's Davis missing. Jackson dishes to Fox. Kicks to Randolph. Fox against Rondo. Davis with the double team. Fox with it. Now guarded by Mirotic. And it's Fox with the jam.
And the quickness Fox has, boy, it's impressive. Just coasting to the cup with ease.
Davis can't get that one to fall. The Kings trail by 21. To the paint. Here's Cauley-Stein. The putback and the second chance effort by Randolph.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Rondo kicks to Moore. New Orleans moving the ball around. And it's Davis finishing it off.
A lot of people feel like Moore has natural point guard ability, so I like to see him find the open man.
1:06 left here in the first quarter. Outside Jackson. Randolph a screen. The pass to Bogdanovich. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 4 assists in the game. Holiday goes in, shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2.
It's pretty simple. I figured it out. He can't miss. Adding to the lead with ease and capitalizing on every opportunity. He can't miss.
Now here's Bogdanovich. He's got 10. Jackson has the open look and another 3 for Sacramento.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
They get it back. Rondo. It's deflected.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Rondo with the steal. All alone, and the jam by Rajon Rondo.
And Rondo, as good as it gets in transition, whether he's shooting or passing, he tends to make the right decision.
Fox kicks to Cauley-Stein, passes it to Jackson. Left side Randolph. That's tipped. Rondo with the steal. Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for New Orleans. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. We come back right after this. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a comfortable margin for the Pelicans here, guys.
I mean, really good with their post presence, and it's really allowed them to establish a physical tone here in the first.
Well, they're attacking the rim in more than one way, and with that kind of success, you feel like the defense is going to make the adjustment. Then you start playing inside out.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Mirotic is out there with Darius Miller. Then there's Ian Clark. Then it's Rajon Rondo. And it's Davis in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. The Kings trail by 21. Here's Temple. Out of bounds. Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession. And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and back court for Sacramento.
And their bigs have actually played a significant role with their passing. That frees the guards to come up off screens and cut to the rim and kind of flipping the script here offensively.
Randolph a screen. There's the pick. Three-pointer, Hield. Hey, Brent, we know that speed is at a premium these days, but so are analytics. Talk about some of the guys who are both quick and extremely efficient.
I think about a couple guys at the point guard position, because that's normally you say quick, that's where your head goes, Kevin. So Isaiah Thomas is one of those guys that is just a blur. Once he crosses half court, he's going to counterpunch you in some way. And then Steph Curry in Golden State, you have to come out to 30 feet to guard what Steph's going to do. But there are also guys who are deceptive with their quickness in the way that C.J. McCollum manipulates a pick-and-roll set and gets himself into the mid-range. These guys are pretty good at what they do, exercising that quickness along with efficiency.
Some changes for New Orleans. Okafor comes in for Anthony Davis, and it's DeAndre Liggins in for Rajon Rondo. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Hield kicks to Randolph. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
He might not elevate like some of the other guys on the court, but as we've learned, Randolph knows how to get the ball in the basket. They call it old school. That's what it is when you watch Zach Randolph play the game of basketball. He's got such great skill and touch around the basket. We call it the old man game, and I tell you what, he gets it done every night.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph. And you know, as you've said, Greg, all the time, Zach Randolph can roll out of bed and get you 20.
I mean, he's just a natural scorer. He can post up, he can face up, and he just stays with it. An excellent offensive rebounder. This guy just has that nuance to his game that's made him so effective.
Here's Temple after Emeka Okafor scored. And Temple kicks to Randolph. Score the basket, his fifth of the game. He's missed 6 shots against those 5 mates.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Here's Temple looking for his first basket still in this one. He dishes it to Labissiere. Back to Temple. Fires from the wing. The second effort, and again it's Zach Randolph.
This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
Mirotic gets the bucket.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
The shot by Carter, nobody around. Hits it from three-point range.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction, and the obvious result.
Yeah, when you fail to get over the top, more than likely that jumper is going to go down. You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
Timeout called by the Kings.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
And from the day that Anthony Davis was drafted, New Orleans had a win-now mindset.
Well, that's what the decree from the upper management was. And maybe a little bit unfair to put that kind of pressure on such a young superstar talent who wanted to find his way in the NBA. The front office focused on making some trades and surrounding him right away without understanding exactly what Anthony Davis was going to be good at. Let's face it, he's still great, and there's still that opportunity for AD.
While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. In third, the Pelicans.
I mean, you love their aggressiveness, not settling for one shot offensively, but really running down those loose boards and converting for extra points.
Sacramento with the ball, trailing by 17. Randolph kicks to Carter. Misses the three.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
It's stolen by Carter. And now Sacramento on the break. Miller with the double team. Knocked away. And stolen by Miller. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Pelicans lead by 19.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Here's Randolph, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. It's on Emeka Okafor.
Randolph was an Indiana State champion coming out of high school, so you know the pressure of the NBA doesn't bother him. There's nothing more intense than that when you talk about that Indiana high school tournament.
And the first one at the line is good. Well, we don't have a chalkboard here to draw it up, but if you could explain it, what's your favorite inbounds play when you really need a bucket?
All right, Kevin, so the guy goes to the right, he comes off the down pick, and then on the backside you run the hammer and you dribble to the right side, you throw along the baseline, but you're looking for the four-man on the slip, and also the five-man's popping back for the jump shot. Got it?
I got it. I like the run the hammer. Run the hammer. And you look at this Kings roster, and, Greg, you can see the youth movement is in full effect.
Yeah, and Buddy Hield headlines the group as he comes over in that Cousins trade. Skal Labissiere and Willie Cauley-Stein, also a big part of this team's future. And then getting Fox as a rookie to kind of run the ship, another great building block.
And so here's Sacramento. The Pelicans make their last shot.
Well, even though he missed, you like seeing him taking that kind of shot. The defense must be better.
Mirotic gets the bucket.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Sacramento's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let him fly. Knocked away. Dives for it. Out of bounds. Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession. Here's Temple. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one, and the call will be against Darius Miller. That is his first foul of the game. Brett, if your team won't be competing for a championship, talk about the balance between giving your first-round picks or young players the playing time they need to develop against making them earn their minutes. That's a very fragile movement back and forth.
I agree, Kevin. Such a tight rope to walk because you don't want to upset veterans on your team who still want to go out and compete on a nightly basis. And you also want to make sure that your rookies just aren't opening the door for them to go out and do whatever it is they want to do on the floor because of your team's situation. So I think that's where the communication between the coach and the staff and how it is that the player is developing, you just don't dole out the minutes for that player's progression.
Shooting two.
And he knocks down the first one. Sacramento making a switch here. Shumpert's checked in. And so Clark nails both of them.
And the Pelicans might have the most formidable front court tandem in the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. Some calling them fire and ice. Gee, I wonder who fire is. You just can't allow good looks like that from beyond the arc. That's just inviting all kinds of trouble.
Mirotic's shot is off. The Kings trail by 21. Outside jumper. Labissiere, the screen. Outside jumper. Just 5 to shoot. Randolph passes to Labissiere. And Okafor with the block. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. Here's Mirotic. Shumpert with some nice D. And the Pelicans, Brent, had flirted with small ball. How's the fit between Cousins and Davis?
Well, it does help out that both of these guys are so talented and capable of shooting the basketball as big men. But I think AD plays better off the ball and not really force-feeding him. DeMarcus is just the opposite. He's got to have the ball in his hands to make plays. So we'll see how they end up working this thing out. They could still use some perimeter shooting because of the attention that these two big guys are going to draw on a nightly basis.
Here's Temple, looking for his first basket still in this one. Randolph kicks to Shumpert. And good that time.
And Shumpert can get into the paint, and then if he's patient, can find ways to score like that.
Here's Okafor, and he banks in the layup.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
The Kings trail by 21. Tipped away, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Okafor. Some changes for Sacramento. Willie Cauley-Stein comes in for Zach Randolph. And it's Fox in for Heel. Over to the left wing. And here's the break. And it's Okafor. That time on the assist by Liggins. Liggins has got his third assist on the night. Now, here's Fox. Defense right on him. Here's Cauley-Stein, and Cauley-Stein throws it down.
Yeah, instinctively, too. Fox there looking to be a ball mover, a facilitator, and that's one reason why his team is playing well.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Temple after Emeka Okafor scored. And it's Emeka Okafor with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Etwan Moore comes in for Miller, and it's Drew Holiday in for DeAndre Liggins. Now, here's Fox. Here's the dish to Temple. Okafor comes in with the double team. 6 on the shot clock. Cauley-Stein kicks to Temple. The shot from 20 feet away. Misses off the right iron.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And maybe a little disengaged in the first quarter. Ball didn't come his way. He's really provided some scoring in the second quarter of action.
Holiday against Fox. Cauley-Stein dishes to Temple. He kicks to Fox. It's stolen. Baseline try. The shot by Holiday, no good. The Kings shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Temple. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Fox against Holiday. It's rebounded by Labissiere. Labissiere's got his third rebound tonight. Stolen by Holiday. Dishes to Mirotic. Out of bounds. Sacramento takes possession. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Okafor.
And what a big-time game we've seen from him. He's been the one looking to create and get a shot each trip down the floor. Every time a shot falls, his confidence just grows and grows. Just an all-around tremendous offensive showing.
This Kings squad is struggling. Mirotic brings the double team. Here's Labissiere, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. So, Brent, certain players are known for getting into people's heads. Who is a guy you played against that really challenged your mental toughness?
I'll give you 2 examples, Kevin. As an opponent, I would tell you that Vernon Maxwell was one of the more less cerebral and more in-your-face aggressive players that I ever faced as an opponent. But on the flip side of that, Kevin, there were guys I played with that sometimes would challenge you mentally. In particular, one Gary Payton in Seattle. Always interesting to see how he approached the game, and sometimes even his own teammates.
But you always welcome the challenge, I'm sure.
Well, I take it head on. I mean, that's what guys do. They're paid to compete.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it. I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Has to call his time. Here's Fox. His shot is good, scores his third basket in 6 tries, shooting 50%.
And Fox starting to show you his abilities inside. It has quick instincts, which I think helps him when he's down low.
Now here's Bogdanovich, following the shot by Drew Holiday. The feed to Fox. Pass to Shumpert. And the foul on Drew Holiday. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Sacramento, they have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple.
And when you look at that free throw percentage on the season, they're right around 73%.
And the first one at the line is good.
Shumpert, an important piece to this basketball team. He comes in, he does a lot of things well, and accepts the defensive responsibility that is placed on him.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Rondo's checked in. And both free throws good from Iman Shumpert.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Yes, that goes in.
Yeah, Rondo just knows how to wheel and deal. Has that exceptional feel for when one of his guys is open.
Feeds to Bogdanovich. Kicks to Fox. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Bogdanovich. And once again off the mark by Sacramento.
Well, after getting off to a great start, hitting those first 2 shots, he's definitely regressed a little bit in this quarter.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
And you could try to key in on him, but that's tough. They run plays that routinely give him makeable looks.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
Here's Holiday. And it's Fox with the rebound.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
And so the ball's out of bounds. Shumpert touched it last. And now let's find out who the top rookie setup men have been since the All-Star break with this look at the assist rankings. 4th, De'Aaron Fox.
He's making progress in his first season in the league, and his command of their offense and opposing defenses improves every time he takes the floor.
And Davis throws it down.
So you have an all-star type player in Anthony Davis. He's going to handle that scoring load and always put you in great position.
Fox against Rondo. Cauley Stein with a screen on Holiday. Davis with the double team. It's stolen by Davis. Here we go, one-on-one. Tries again, and Labissiere sends it back.
And like how aggressive Labissiere is on defense, using that wide frame to turn back shots. Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Rondo on the double team. Moore against Bogdanovich. Just 5 on the clock. Shumpert passes to Labissiere. Takes the 3. He can't hit that time. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. New Orleans on top, running away with it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Dave Yeager. Coach, what is going to be the focus offensively going into the second half?
Well, we try to go inside. That's our strength anyways. And for us, our bread is buttered inside, so we try to play high-low. And then if the threes come out of that, great, but we want to try to get everything to the rim.
Coach, it all starts with that entry pass to the big, and then everybody plays off of him. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a big-time first quarter from Anthony Davis. He had 27 points, 4 steals, and 2 assists. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
How good are these guys on the fast break? They're pushing the ball, finding the open man, finishing strong. They're at a breakneck pace, and if they can maintain this level of intensity in the second half, blowout city.
Shaq, what's your take on Sacramento?
Well, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. And today, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing from deep. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't continue with this game plan. Not working.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
A nighttime glimpse of the Tower Bridge, one of the landmarks here in Sacramento. Welcome back, everyone, to the capital of California. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
And how about that? Already through 2 quarters and some change, he's got a double-double.
Well, it's an impressive performance thus far, but it goes beyond just his ability. Right now, he's just simply outworking the opponent.
Inside, it's Zebo and Cauley-Stein. Fox is out there with Jackson, and it's Bogdanovich in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Dave Yeager.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with him.
Here's Bogdanovich after Rajon Rondo's bucket. Fox against Okafor. 6 to shoot. Sacramento needs to get off a shot. Expanding his range. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Okafor's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Misses from short range.
He's still looking for his shot. Somehow they're winning. They'd like to get him going.
And it comes off the front of the rim.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
And Davis throws it down.
Always fun to watch Anthony Davis rise up for dunks like that. Awesome anticipation from him.
Jackson with it, and Holiday picks him up defensively. And Bogdanovich kicks to Fox. To the middle, here's Cauley-Stein. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Cauley-Stein's got 13 points.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Wasted no time on that one.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
There's the pass to Jackson. Offensive rebound, Randolph. Great D that time from Rondo.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5.
And he gets it to go.
Yeah, 80%. Is that a good number from the field? I think so. 4 of 5 here shooting. Terrific start.
Now, here's Fox. He's got 6. Jackson from long range. Goes back up. And Davis sends it back.
Phenomenal defense by Anthony Davis to spike that shot back. He'd make a heck of a volleyball player.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
For Sacramento, they have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
At the line for 2.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph. And Randolph drops them both. For New Orleans, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. The Pelicans have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
He misses the free throw. And he sinks the second. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Cauley Stein, and Cauley Stein throws it down.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Here's Davis. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Davis has got 33.
You can't slow AD down when he's hitting that shot.
Fox with it. 6 points for him. And Randolph slams it in.
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability.
The Pelicans have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second half. Tremendous efficiency. And it's slammed in by Davis.
Now, I know he doesn't have to get up real high, but that time he did.
The Kings have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Out of bounds, Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession.
Better to be lucky than good. That pass was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
Vince Carter, he's checked in for the Kings. Darius Miller, he's checked in for the Pelicans. DeAndre Liggins checks in for Drew Holiday.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's Rondo. Here's Okafor. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Okafor's got 23 points.
And every offensive board is an extra possession. If you're trying to compete from this far down, you cannot allow that.
Yeah, second chance points are demoralizing, especially after you worked hard to get the stop in the first place.
Now, here's Fox. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Cauley-Stein. It's good on the putback. Cauley-Stein's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, and that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Now, here's Fox, following the miss by Anthony Davis. Randolph sets a screen for Fox. Inside, and Okafor with the block. Here's Davis, and finished off by Davis.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's Cauley-Stein. 17 points in the game.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
And it's Davis finishing it off.
He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
Sacramento's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. It's stolen by Davis. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Great decision by AD there to charge towards the basket and finish the shot around the defense.
Tipped away. It's stolen by Davis. It's hauled in by the Kings. Fox has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Carter inside the three-point line. Cans the shot from the wing. Carter's got his second basket of the night. Here's Davis. Plays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
The Kings shooting in this game 45%. Fox dishes to Jackson. Miller against Carter. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Davis. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Davis has got the ball. And the layup is good. Davis has got 45 points.
It's just hard to believe that someone can perform at such a high level. They've got to thank him for this lead.
Randolph with the ball. Picked up by Davis. Fox kicks to Randolph. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. Randolph's got 20 points.
Phenomenal use of the body there to free himself up from the defender and get a clean look at the basket.
And Davis can't get it to go. And for Sacramento, they're shooting a troubling 38% in the third. Not the finest work of this offense. Jackson passes to Carter. That's tipped out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession. What a recent stretch it's been for these players. They're the NBA's leading scorers over the last 10 games. Anthony Davis is second.
Quite a role he's been on. I mean, a pure scoring display. Eventually, teams might find an answer for him, but that's not been the case here lately.
Here's Okafor. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And a moment now to see some numbers for De'Aaron Fox. He's averaging 11 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And he makes the first. And some changes here for the Kings. Labissiere's checked in for Cauley-Stein. Temple comes in for Jackson. And Hield subbed in for Fox. New Orleans also making some changes. Mirotic is checked in for Anthony Davis. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. He's off on the second. Sacramento's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Carter for 3. Sacramento gets it back in a new 24. Basket counts. Well for New Orleans, shooting wonderfully up to this point, 67%. And they pick up 2. And that's now 26 points for Emeka Okafor.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
Poked loose. Here's Randolph. Yep, that one goes in there. Randolph's got 10 points here in the second half.
Yeah, this team would be in some bad shape, guys, if he wasn't scoring like this right now.
Good on the shot.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking
attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Now here's Hield. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Temple can't get it to go.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
Clark. Here's Mirotic, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Mirotic has got 10.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Carter on the wing. And there's the foul. It'll go on Nikola Mirotic. That'll be his second foul of the game. Now here's Hield, picked by Randolph. Mirotic brings the double team. Shot clock at 6. And stolen by Mirotic.
This game is going to get even more out of hand unless they start valuing the basketball. No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Now here's Hield, puts up a 3. That doesn't go either for Carter.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
And that one's good by Clark. 10 points for him.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And here is Hield. There's a good screen. Randolph dishes to Temple. Snatched away. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Emeka Okafor the bucket on the assist by Liggins. That's 28 points for Emeka Okafor.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And Temple kicks to Carter. He feeds it to Labissiere. That one wide left.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
Again, the miss by the Kings.
And you just get the sense the whole period he's been a bit out of sync.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't figure out what's wrong, but he keeps trying to push through.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now here's Hield. Defense right on him. They get it back. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking, and more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend.
To the paint. And again, Emeka Okafor. Okafor's got 12 points now in the quarter.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Randolph sets a screen for Hield. Passes to Carter. And it's off from three-point range.
Man, he's missing those kind of good looks. His team is in some serious trouble.
Scooped up. And it goes down 2 points.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
That's the kind of guy who does things that breaks the backs of their opponents because they're about wanting it more than the other guy you're up against.
Here's Temple following the score by New Orleans. Here's the 3. The shot missing. And New Orleans will go the other way with it.
Yeah, tough with his shot so far off right now. They're going to have to tap someone else to step up until he finds it. Now, he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Here's Mirotic. It's rebounded by Labissiere. Labissiere's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Temple's got his first points of the game. Here's Clark over Hield. No good on the buzzer beater. And so it's New Orleans, able to put on a show for the ages. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Hey, let's keep it up, guys. Just keep running, though. We can get out in the open court and run all we want, all right?
Alvin Gentry satisfied with some of what he's seeing, but would like his guys to pick up the pace.
And there have been some opportunities in transition that they have yet to capitalize on. It may have cost them some points.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. So for New Orleans right now, we've got Cook, Diallo out there with DeAndre Liggins. Then there's Okafor. Now Mason. Okafor comes in with the double team. And Shumpert kicks to Kufis. Picked off in midair.
If you could stay active on defense, good things usually happen. Right there, quick hands helped alter what would have been a sure two there.
Count that one.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
Mason kicks to Shumpert. On the wing, Heel. Back to Shumpert. Got a piece of it. Shot clock at 5. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Finished off the break.
And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
The story is true, and here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
Here is Mason. And it's blocked. And New Orleans pushing it up now. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And it's going to go on Iman Shumpert. A Brent for college players who decide to stay in school for their junior and senior years. In some cases, it's been hurting their draft stock. Sometimes it helps. Can you talk about why we see a difference in the two?
I think what happens, Kevin, is that in any given collegiate season, that next year, there's another opportunity for a brand new crop of players, maybe not the star guys that are going into college as freshmen, but guys who just played their freshman year or in their sophomore season take their next step. And so guys who are juniors and seniors might be looked at as not advancing fast enough or not as much potential, with guys a year behind them being better players. I felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line.
And the Kings making a change here. Caboclo's checked in. And so Emeka Okafor nails both of them. And for Sacramento, they're shooting about 42% so far. Ball's knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Okafor. They set the pick. Poked away. Here's Cook. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And where would these guys be without all the easy points off these turnovers?
Mason kicks to Labissiere. He dishes it to Shumpert. Here's Kufis. Outflews off the pick and hammers it home.
Shumpert surveying the floor and finding the open man, so a nice swing pass on that possession.
And it's Okafor missing.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Now here's Shumpert. Here's Caboclo. 6 on the shot clock, and that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Just 4 to shoot. Here's the screen. They get it back. Okafor with the steal. Guarded by Mason, and he makes good on the layup.
Yeah, just continued sloppiness with the basketball. They are shooting themselves in the foot.
Brent, we're seeing more athletes use cross-training to improve their strength and conditioning. Back in the day, did you play any sports outside of basketball to improve your results?
Kevin, if I asked you if surfing helped my basketball, would you say yes?
Well, in your regard, I would say yes. It did help balance, right?
Yes.
What about that?
Hey, I should have surfed a lot more then, Kevin.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Labissiere, the screen. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Shot's good from Mason. Diallo the pass to Okafor. Banked in off the glass. Okafor's got 38 points.
Well, he's got a baton in the right hand as he's orchestrating what's going on. A maestro, if you will.
Shumpert gets a wide open look. The three-pointer off the mark. And it's the Pelicans' ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Okafor gets the bucket.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
For Sacramento, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. The dish now to Labissiere. Knocks it loose. Okafor with the steal for the finish. And Okafor slams it in.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Well, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Mason kicks to Caboclo. Dishes it to Shumpert. Labissiere, the screen. Pass to Caboclo. Sacramento moving it around. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. So, Brent, less than 0.1% of NBA fans bother to vote for the All-Star game. Do you think the league should devise a different way to choose the players for that big mid-season event?
I'd really like, again, this is an area, Kevin, that the league has done a great job of being a bit progressive with the way they've changed the All-Star balloting. 50% of the vote now going to the fans, 25% to the players, and 25% to the media. It's a way to make sure that guys who are having tremendous seasons are recognized both by their peers and their media rather than the fans getting ahead of some marketing scheme. So this has been addressed.
Perfect. Shumpert with it. He kicks it to Mason. Here's Koufos. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. And it's Okafor off the drive. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Okafor's got 44.
Such astounding shooting right now from him. He is untouchable from the perimeter. What a performance.
Mason kicks to Shumpert. The three ball. Second shot opportunity, and it's blocked.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far. Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Well, tonight his pinpoint accuracy has been impressive.
Here is Mason. Here's Caboclo. And Shumpert kicks to Labissiere. Misses, and he wants that one back.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Here's Liggins. Lays it up off the glass.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Well, the crowd got in here tonight and sat down, and that's where they stayed all night long, extremely poised, which has led to a monster lead.
Caboclo gets the three-pointer to fall.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
Yeah, when you fail to get over the top, more than likely that jumper is going to go down.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Mason, the pass to Caboclo. Tipped away. And now Liggins running the floor all by himself. He gets that one.
Well, he hasn't missed yet, guys, and the defense is scrambling for answers to stop this hot start.
Sacramento's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Now, here's Koufos. Pass to Mason. The three-pointer, no good. New Orleans dictating the flow. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession. Carter, he's checked in for Caboclo. And a change for the Pelicans. Miller's checked in. And for the Kings, they're shooting in the fourth quarter down around 31%, not playing with as much energy here lately. Mason kicks to Labissiere. And here is Mason. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
It's hard to believe that he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
No doubt. His success converting around the rim is largely due to the one thing he does better than most, and that is fly.
Here is Mason after Emeka Okafor scored. Mason dishes to Koufos. Stolen. Guarded by Mason. They get the rebound. Liggins, no good.
Well, important to get great balance if you get bumped on your way to the basket. Still something that every player tries to get comfortable with.
Here is Mason. The feed now to Koufos. Here's Shumpert. Nailed from three-point land.
Shumpert had such a great year shooting it last year. When he's hitting, it really stretches out the floor for the rest of his ball club.
Okafor gets the bucket.
He's been an absolute marksman the entire second half. Hard to imagine what anyone can do right now to slow him down.
Now Mason. At the elbow, Labissiere. Knocked loose. Miller against Carter. Here's Diallo, and that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
And that is one thing he does very well. His intensity on the glass helps lead to these high percentage putbacks for his team.
Carter on the wing, covered by Miller, and Labissiere gets it to go.
And once Labissiere has that kind of position down there, it's pretty much over already. So skilled at draining baskets from that range. Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Mason with it. They set the pick. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And then there's the other team. Can't say that about them. Big gap in the recent field goal percentage between these two squads.
Brent, when we look at some of the classic rivalries between teams, they don't always look as emotionally charged nowadays. Is there a way you think to get that back?
Well, the first thing I do, Kevin, is not try to manufacture anything. The second thing I would avoid is please don't bring up the Lakers-Celtics rivalries in the 80s. And the last thing I would make you conscious of is the fact that, look, players are moving around so often that it's hard to get years and years of the same matchup with the same guys on the roster. Now, look, accept the competition for what it is, and if we get another one where teams are facing one another more often, then let's enjoy it for what it is.
Shumpert. That three off the mark.
Might want to stop shooting from out there right now because it's just not working. He needs to look to get his teammates involved at this point in the game.
The shot's good. Okafor's got 52 points. And for Sacramento, they're shooting for the game at 42%. In the corner, it's Koufos. Shoots from the right block. He squares up and sinks it. New Orleans dictating the flow. Shots good by Miller.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Miller's gone 5 of 7 from the floor here. Mason the pass to Carter. feeds it to Mason. There's the three. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Mason's got 10 points in the quarter.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the three ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it. Yeah, undersized guys with athleticism do these kind of things, playing above the rim. Love to see them get up like that.
And so here's Sacramento. The Pelicans make their last shot. Here's Kufis, and they pick up 2.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Pelicans.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year.
And with this win, they bring the season series to an end, guys, with a split 2 games apiece.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Emeka Okafor.
They looked aggressive on the offensive end, and that compounded into lots of great opportunities that he capitalized on.
5 to shoot. Okafor comes in with the double team. Here's Labissiere, and there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Down, Labissiere. Taking 2 shots.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing.
And you can see the potential that Labissiere has, an explosive player who's surprisingly quick for his size.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're up. There's 39 seconds left in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
And guys, just avoid the unnecessary fouls here. That's about the only thing that can get them in trouble at this point.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Emeka Okafor.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Good on the second free throw.
You know, the team's struggling to come back. He really wanted all of those free throws.
Shots good by Miller.
And this is how you close out a game, not taking any chances.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless in this game or the tide can turn on you. Not here, not tonight.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here is Mason. Kicks to Labissiere. Carter outside. That doesn't go either for Carter. From deep, off on that one. So we see New Orleans taking the W here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. AD, it looked like you guys were having some fun out there. Is there a new dynamic coming up offensively?
No, we just don't care who scored the ball. You know, the ball movement was great. Everybody's rebounding and talking. So when we play like that, it's fun to watch. You know, and everybody out there having fun, smiling, a lot of emotion. That's all we asked. That's all Coach asked for, and we did that tonight.
Good win tonight, AD. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.